If you have a modern washing machine, you probably have one of these drawers. They're called detergent drawers, soap dispensers. And what they allow you to do is to add detergent, softener, and or bleach, and conveniently have it all in one location. Problem with these is that because it's dark and it's moist, you get mold and mildew buildup that you need to deal with. So first thing you need to do is remove the entire unit. And in this one, this Samsung, you just push down on this tab and that loosens the drawer. You bring it out. I'm using a towel to catch all the moisture that's going to drip out. And if you turn it over, you'll notice that there's some mold and mildew building up on the back end. So we're going to need to remove that. That's where a toothbrush will come in. We'll take this over to the kitchen sink or utility sink and just clean that out with some soap. You also don't want to forget to do the inside. You see there's some dark lines there, so we got some stuff that's growing and probably some stuff that's growing in the back. And if you look up, that's where the water comes in that flows out the chemicals. So there's a little buildup of stuff in there. So you're probably going to need to put on a pair of gloves and get that toothbrush way back in there to get all that out. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the little components that make this up. And some of them come apart fairly easy. The back one tends to be a bit more difficult to get out. You sort of have to pull up on this end, and then that allows the rest of it to come out. So now you can clean those three compartments individually, and then we'll attack areas that are showing buildup. And we want to make sure that all that's gone before we insert it back into the machine. So using a little bit of dishwashing lotion, I've removed all the mildew that I can find, and we'll rinse. Now you may be asking the question, what if I don't use liquid detergent, I just use those pods? Well, if you use pods, you still should check because the machine doesn't know whether you're using a pod, a liquid, or a dry detergent. And it will pump water into these compartments to flush out detergent, bleach, softener. And since it can't tell whether you're doing any of those things, there'll be water that comes in here and water that may sit around. And of course, water and darkness can lead to mildew, mold, and bacterial growth. So if you do this once a month or so, you should be fine and you won't have any odors, and you'll keep this stuff from spreading into the rest of the machine. Once we're done washing all the parts, we towel them off and we allow the unit to air dry because we want to make sure it's perfectly dry before we put it back in. And note, I only used dishwashing lotion to clean it. There's no need for vinegar or bleaches or any hard disinfectants unless your unit is full of mold, which it shouldn't be. With a little dab of soap on the toothbrush, I go in here and I start to clean any areas where I see mold. And once you clean out an area, then you can progress further into the unit. And don't forget to do the top side because there's buildup in there too. And you may want to wear a pair of gloves so that when you reach in there, you don't get all this crud on you. Anyway, continue this process until you've done all the way to the back, anywhere where you see that there's growth. And then we're just going to wipe it with a wet cloth to make sure it's all done. Let it air dry, and then we'll reassemble the unit. Before replacing the detergent drawer, we need to reassemble it. So we come over to the side that holds the detergent. This is for liquid. If you're just going to use dry, then you actually don't put this back in here because this will work just with powder. For liquids, you need this. First thing we need to do is put this little cap on it. And whenever you're using a liquid detergent, just use the minimum amount and never go over this amount, the max. Otherwise, the machine will start to foam and you'll have leakage issues. Now we grab the bleach compartment, put that into place, snap it in. You heard that snap. Then we come and pick up the front end, which is the softener section, and that comes over the back of the bleach and just slides in. By the way, even though there is a fabric softener section here, you shouldn't use liquid fabric softener. It builds up residue, which again leads to bacteria, mold, building up in the machine. Instead of using liquid fabric softeners that could build up a residue in your washer, use dryer sheets. Now with everything in place, we're ready to take this unit to the washer. We bring the drawer into the compartment, and once you get past the catch there, then you just take it all the way home and you're set. With the detergent drawer clean, we're ready to run a load through our machine. Don't forget that part of your monthly maintenance should also include the self-cleaning of the machine. That function will clean the inside of the drum so that you end up with a squeaky clean drum free of bacteria, mold, and mildew. Also, don't forget to clean the water pump filter. For more information on how to do these things, check our links in the description. If you found this video interesting or useful, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.